Do you have a healthy relationship with your emotions, especially the ones that we call negative emotions? Well, today I want to talk about this and talk about an unfruitful way. There's a key thing that a lot of people do in their emotional world that's not helping them. It's not fruitful, and I want to get into that in this broadcast. So welcome to the Healing and Freedom Journey. Mark DeJesus here. I am your brother from another mother, bringing you insights along the way. I'm all about mental, emotional, and relationship health, and if you are too, you've arrived at a great place. So I don't want to waste any time in dragging this out to get to the point, like how sometimes people do in videos, and you're like, just get to the point. I'm going to get to the point. But as you hear the point, I want you to then listen to the processing out of the point that I'm making. This one thing that I want to encourage you to stop doing with your emotions. I see it over and over and over again. And it's a very unproductive mindset. And it sounds like this. It kind of comes across in two ways. Number one, when it comes to your emotions, first off, I don't want this situation to bother me anymore. It sounds like that. That's one part of it. Or another version of this is, I just don't want to feel this way anymore. How many of you have fallen into that? I've met with person after person after person over the years and decades where they enter into coaching or help or counsel or therapy, or they're engaging the healing and freedom journey because they have certain emotions that are troubling them. Usually it's anger, anxiety, sense of depression, sadness, just tension, pressure, irritability, emotions like that. And we often look at a certain situation that triggers that emotion, and we go, I just don't want this situation to bother me. Well, there's an implication there that's saying that we're supposed to be bulletproof. And I know that many Christians kind of believe that in every situation, you should just be able to glide through and just be okay and a situation not bother you. That creates an unhealthy relationship with your emotions. And then this other aspect of, I just don't want to feel this way anymore. You're feeling anxious. I'm just sick of feeling this. Or I'm sad. I'm sick of feeling this. Or you have a obsessive tangent that you go into and you find yourself spiraling. I just don't want to feel this way anymore. So we create a picture of someday I'll just never feel this emotion, and we're just driving ourselves towards trying to get there. There's a couple concerns I want to bring out, and then I want to get into some better application. I want to keep this video as simple as possible. The first thing is that this kind of mindset drives a myth that we can stop an emotion from showing up. I think a lot of people believe that. And they may even believe that emotional maturity or emotional self-control means certain disturbing or negative emotions don't even show up. It's not true. It's not true at all. In fact, people that walk a healing journey, walk a maturing journey, keep growing, they learn how to relate to those emotions, to learn and grow without those emotions dictating their life choices, decisions, where they point their compass, the steps that they take. What we can do is we can learn from our emotional world. But I think a lot of Christians believe that we should. I know I received this message. And even when I went into healing and heart healing and mental health work, there were a lot of people I rubbed shoulders with that kind of gave this impression of, in any situation, you should be able to, take your piece, and you should be able, we kind of create this perfectionistic picture of a bulletproof world. And then I realized that I'm dismissing the humanity of how I'm created and wired. I'm dismissing the learning journey with emotions. And I'm spending a lot of time just trying to get away from these feelings. I'm not actually growing through them. They gain a lot of power. So we have to recognize that myth that we can just stop an emotion and just be bulletproof. It also drives emotional suppression. And there's a lot of emotional suppressors out there. And if you haven't learned this yet along the journey, it's important to realize that suppressed emotions will often show up later. Meaning that we're just like, go away, that feeling, go away, that shows up. It creates this, to be honest, it creates a fear-based relationship with our emotions. And even when we start to see it showing up, no, I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel. So that's creating a fear of it. And what did we do? Now that emotion gains more power over us. And now we're actually losing the beauty of experiencing some of these negative emotions, but the grieving or the healing that can take place or the maturity that we can really experience by going through some of these valleys. This mentality also increases pressure in your emotional world. Don't feel. And if you do feel it, how do I get rid of it? 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 I remember I used to write people I knew, brothers and sisters, people that were in kind of compassion work or inner healing work or pastor friends or mentors. I'm like, how do I stop from feeling angry? How do I stop from feeling irritable? How do I stop from this anxiousness? And I realized that I was asking the wrong question as far as my healthy healing journey. It's more about how can I compassionately respond to this and what can I learn here and how can I start to map out new ways of relating to this emotion. So the more pressure you put on avoiding a certain emotion, the more power they gain. I also find that it inflames the hostile inner critic. It gives the inner critic and a war against yourself. It gives it more power because now you're in this pressure chamber and now you're in this like, oh, I'm feeling this thing. I shouldn't be feeling this thing because we as Christians should be. Many people will go, I should be more like the Apostle Paul. I should be more like, as though the Apostle Paul never felt these emotions. Oh, I want to be more like Jesus, as though Jesus never showed anger or showed a sense of grief or showed a sense of great mourning. We create these pictures of just flawless people, and we equate that with having no difficult emotions. Just because you have a difficult emotion shows up doesn't mean anything less about you, doesn't mean anything about you being even not in a place of not growing. It's actually an opportunity for growth. But you have to be aware of that inner critic because it's going to shame you for even feeling the emotion. And if you're going through depression, sadness, grief, or you have anger, you wake up and you're irritable, right? You're just going through irritability. And then, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Now you have two problems. You don't just have the emotion that's a struggle. You're now beating yourself up over the emotion. You're becoming an enemy to yourself. Meanwhile, this just inflames fear because we have such an avoidance relationship with these emotions. And so then in this, with this mentality, we're now trying to chase the better emotion and get out of this bad one as quickly as possible. So we're avoiding one emotion, but then we become emotion chasers. We're like running around trying to feel better. And then we have panic reaction to just try, I gotta fix. And I encourage my brothers and sisters over and over again. We are on a journey of learning to be loved, to experience compassionate grace in our journey. But this fix-it mentality causes us to skip past love. Because what you need when you're dealing with a difficult emotion is you need compassion to meet you in it. But we jump to fixing. See, compassion doesn't jump to fixing. Compassion jumps to embracing at first. Patience and kindness come into play. Relational connection. I'm connecting with you even in your goofiness, even in your struggle, even in your sinful strongholds and all your suffering and all your battles. Mercy is here, meet you in this. But you have to learn how to apply this to yourself. And for many of you, you're on a journey of reparenting your emotions because you didn't learn how to steward your emotional world. You didn't know how to practice self-control. You didn't notice how to see an emotion but not get locked into the waves of it. Because healing is not that an emotion just doesn't bother you. It's learning how to let the emotion work its way through you. So let me quickly give you a couple reminders. Instead of this, I don't want the situation to bother me anymore, or I don't want to feel that way anymore. Instead, turn on a compassionate witness to what you're feeling. It involves, number one, an embrace. Okay, this is where I'm at. It's okay that I'm not okay. This is where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm feeling this. Doesn't mean you have to feed it, but there's now a loving reaction to it. So that first, that loving embrace and compassion, then the patience comes in. It'll take as long as it takes. This is difficult for me. I'm learning, right? Now the pressure is being released. You're already dealing with something difficult, but the pressure is being released. And then we invite kindness. Okay, what in a kind world, in a lens of kindness and goodness, which that's how God relates to us. What am I learning here? You start to become aware, not lost in it, drowning in it. You learn to teach yourself, okay, what can I learn here? What do these emotional patterns mean? I always get angry at the same thing. I always get anxious in the same thing. What's some of the underlying beliefs or perspectives that's driving this? Okay, that's showing me where I'm needing to do some work. Well, I never feel safe. People are out to get me. Justice never happens for me. I can never catch a break, or people don't understand me, or I need validation, or people don't listen to me, or I'm ignored, or I'm neglected. There's so many areas we can understand in these emotions that stir us, right? In a what we would call a negative way. And I don't necessarily want to see them as negative emotions. That gives a connotation that we should always be away from them and always think positive. No, emotions have to work their way through us. So I have to learn a new way of relating. I spent years, folks. I spent years, and I would even contact so many people, and how do I get rid of this? And then I changed my posture to compassionate grace. And I actually said, how can I walk through this? Okay, I'm feeling anxious about this scenario, this situation. Okay, it's all right. It doesn't mean you're going to dictate my choices and my journey. I'm going to take some steps. Even though I feel anxious, I'm going to take that step anyway. I want to avoid. I want to put things off. Or I'm angry. I had a really struggling relationship with irritability and anger because I'd feel irritable for whatever reason. And I would just dive in. How I got to fix it? I can't be this way. And then I learned to have a more compassionate relationship and kind of see the emotion working its way through versus something that I'm stuck in and I'm never gonna get over. So in relating to your emotions in a new way, you can learn a lot here and you can experience some healing. And then what you do is give room for emotions to work their way through. How do we do that? Well, patience, give yourself time. Don't just react to it and feed it. Be aware of the ruminating and those kind of patterns. But above all, what's really helped me a lot is getting out of this fix mindset and a journey mindset. Instead of trying to fix my emotions all the time, constantly fixing, which made me become obsessive compulsive. Just like a person who has a cleaning OCD and they're constantly cleaning, and wearing themselves out, or constantly organizing, or constantly fixing, or constantly running away from germs, I was constantly trying to get this contamination out of my life. Then I let love have a work and said, okay, so now if I feel anxious, I go, okay, it's all right. You're going to take some steps through and I'm going to learn in this that I'm okay and I'm safe. If I feel angry or irritable, it's okay that I feel that right now. I got some things that are disturbing me that I'm letting work their way through. This actually develops the muscle of self-control in a very, very powerful way. So being a drill sergeant and yelling at yourself ain't going to do it. It's compassionate grace that's going to do it. Compassion sets the stage for God's love in our life and how to relate to our emotional world. And grace reminds us of the work of Christ Jesus, where God is walking with us on a journey, healing us, growing us, and maturing us. Is this helpful for you? Because I felt like I needed to share this in a video and let it be a blessing to your life. I know it's helped me a whole lot. If this video helped you, do me a favor, click that like button. You can also go over to subscribing to this channel, and you can go over to marktasius.com where you can click on the donate button to support these videos. You can also submit questions for our Sunday Live or other Q&As that I host as well. If you're on a mental health healing journey, you may want to get a copy of the book, The OCD Healing Journey, which talks about getting to the heart of our obsessive and compulsive struggles. And my latest book, The Myth of the Perfect One, which targets specifically relationship OCD, the world of romance. If you're in a stage of dating, engagement, marriage, already married, this book can be very helpful for you if you find yourself in the trenches of OCD about your romantic and love journey. Well, Lord willing, the creek don't rise. This is your brother from another mother saying, I'll be back with some more insights for your healing and freedom journey. But in the meantime, I'm out.